So as you may know, I'm a big fan of chest supported rowing. Due to the high frequency and the low lower back fatigue relationship that these movements have, the seal row is a fantastic option for chest supported rowing, but a big downside to this movement is just setting it up. Stacking the bench on top of boxes or plates can just be a bitch to do at times. And also, depending on how high the bench is, it can be hard to get a full stretch at the bottom of the lift. The hammer row machine is probably my favourite variation to do, but for one, I have to travel to the gym to use that machine, and two, a lot of people in my gym seem to love that machine as well. So I find myself a lot of the time just hanging around and wasting time in order for that machine to be free. It's not the end of the world, but sometimes I just can't be bothered to deal with these things. And that is where the Helms Row comes into play. A chest supported row variation that has virtually no setup, and it can be done anywhere as long as you have an adjustable bench and some weights. It's the exact same movements as a standard bent over barbell row, but the key difference is because you're resting your chest on the edge of the bench, it takes the majority of stress off of your lower back and legs and places it on your chest. And while this isn't purely a chest supported row compared to something like a seal row, because you are still standing on your legs, so there is a bit of stress on them and the lower back. But like I said, the vast majority of that is taken off of those muscles and placed onto your chest. So it's good enough in my book. Now typically the Helms row is performed with dumbbells because you can get more range of motion that way, and the way you pull the weight is more of a swooping motion like this rather than a straight pull. Doing that, it's really going to overemphasize the lats because it's going to overemphasize the shoulder extension, which is one of the functions of the lats. So it's almost like a hybrid between a dumbbell pullover and a row. So all you do is set the bench angle to a height that when you lean and rest your chest on it, your torso is going to be almost parallel to the floor. It doesn't have to be exactly at a 90-degree angle, but anywhere close will do. So play around with the exact angle and find a position that works well for you. Now I don't have good dumbbells at home, so I do the barbell version. And what I've noticed with doing the Helms row, the barbell version in particular, is I don't get as good of a stretch compared to a seal or a hammer machine row, but the peak contraction I get at the top of the range of motion, so the squeeze, is second to none. It's way better than those other two exercises. I want to interrupt this video to say that I'm now offering a full online coaching service. So if you want to build muscle, get jacked, lose fat, and learn about training directly from me, click the link in this description to find out more. Now where you're going to feel this squeeze will differ from person to person depending on your body structure. For me, the part that I feel the most is the lower inside part of the lat. So the part of the lat that sits right next to the spinal erectors and just above the lower back. That portion is on fire when I do this lift. Now you can't really isolate one part of the lat over another part because it is all one muscle. So yes, I am training the whole lat when I'm doing this, but my body is telling me most of the stimulus is going to that area when I do this exercise. So whether I'm right and wrong in saying that part of my lats is getting emphasized when I do the Helms row, all I know is that that area is on fire when I perform this lift. Another benefit of this lift is that it forces strict form. Because you're resting your chest on the pad, this completely eliminates any upper body jerking in order to move the weight, which goes the same for any other chest supported row variation. So you can guarantee that your back and your biceps are doing 100% of the work. So tracking your progress on this lift is very accurate. So overall, the Helms row is a good lift to throw into your routine. The main benefit I find is just the simplicity of the setup. It saves you time and mental energy. That's the main reason I'm using the lift. So with all that being said, try out for yourself and see you go from there. Until next time, peace.